Hi everyone, my name's Felicity and I'm a Global Humanitarian Studies student here at UCL. This summer, I had the privilege of completing a research and programs internship over the span of 4 weeks with an organisation called the Wonder Foundation. They are a charity dedicated to breaking the cycle of poverty for women all over the world. They do this by partnering with local organisations to deliver vocational education schemes in 24 different countries. I found this opportunity through my department, RDR, and it was fully funded, which made it even more accessible for me. It could not have been a better fit because my long-term career goals are to work in the humanitarian sector or perhaps in international law. Now, a question I've been asked many times is, should I apply for an internship over the summer? I thought that I would share my experience and give you a little bit of insight into what you can gain from an internship. First up, skills. Over the past 2 years of my degree, I have developed strong research abilities, and this internship gave me the opportunity to put those into practice in the real world. I worked on a benchmark report detailing how different global charities approach financial stewardship, and then how Wonder could improve theirs based on these metrics. I also reached out to several organisations that provide badges or seals for transparency and accountability, and this was a great insight into the importance of credibility in the charitable sector. Another one of my projects involved analysing qualitative data from some of Wonder's students in a programme in the Philippines. What really struck me was how the programme transformed their aspirations. Some women described a complete shift in their future goals after having completed the scheme, even though they were balancing their studies with family commitments and work requirements. But these skills weren't the only thing I gained. I was fortunate to have the opportunity to work in such a supportive environment. My colleagues were welcoming, and I had the opportunity to share my own experiences, to network, and also to gain some really useful career advice along the way. Plus, the office atmosphere was so friendly, and that meant so many interesting conversations over lunch. I also developed a much deeper understanding of the inner workings of the charity, from how budgets are allocated to what makes financial transparency and accountability. It's one thing to learn about NGOs in lectures, but another thing entirely to see this play out on a day-to-day basis. And what about balancing work with summer fun? That was definitely possible for me. I went into their office in Brixton 3 days a week, normally from 9:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon. And the other 2 days I would work remotely. The hours were flexible, but even when work was demanding, I had time to wind down in the evenings, see friends and family, and even keep up a part-time job on the weekends. So yes, if you're wondering, you can do an internship and still enjoy your summer. So to circle back to my original question, should you apply for an internship this coming summer? In my opinion, absolutely yes. You'll gain practical experience, gain transferable and technical skills, and meet some truly inspiring people along your journey. And beyond that, you will get some insight into the kind of impact you wish to make in your future career. Thank you for watching, and if you're thinking of applying for an internship, I would say just go for it.